can I pet her? Hi. Hi.
Actually, no, she's in training.
Hey, hey, hey. Oh, can I pet your dog? Hi. Hi. Wow, you're lucky.
The rules at this point, so it's really cool because we can start giving her ultimatums, right? We can say, hey, listen to your command or walk away, get the correction and come back. So we can start saying certain things are off limits, you know? Like everything, if you're in the command, everything's off limits.
Hey, hey, hey. Can I pet your dog?
Ew.
My dog doesn't walk like that.
And I'm gonna see what she does. Keep talking.
Hey. Oh, my dog could never do that. She's at home. She doesn't listen to me. Hello, girl. Hi, honey. Oh, what a sweetheart.
You see what conversation, good girl, we're having today. I'm able to have a very detailed, very specific conversation. Very slight. I'm saying, now you see my leg, now you don't, right? I want you to always see my leg, see. So if they're following, they can't follow what they can't see. So if she gets out in front and she can't see me, boom, that's where the pressure turns on and then I bring her back. Shortly, I will not need the leash. I'll be able to hold her accountable with just the dog. First, she needs to know where the position is. That a girl. And that's the position, right behind the leg. You can follow the leg. As soon as the dog tries to go past you, you're no longer in their vision. Well, out of sight, out of mind. They don't care about you anymore. They've pretty much told you that they've chosen to not follow your leadership and to go out and interact at the will, or out with the world at will. Which is a very unreliable dog. It's a very disrespectful thing for a dog to do. Good. So I'm teaching her the position. Good girl. Very nice. Very good. Okay. Why isn't she going crazy? Why isn't she going like, yes, I did? Well, this is kind of boring. It's at school learning how to read, learning the alphabet. It's not always fun. I mean, you put it into a song hoping the kids will get into it, but at the end of the day, they'd rather go play recess. We got to go to school, have a lesson, and when she's done, then she can go play. Cute. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. And the more she pays attention and tries, the faster this will be done. She'll have more time to go just relax. Good girl, that's what I'm talking about. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. See, once the dog understands what you're asking of them, they know that it means stay close to me, follow me, watch my leg. And then once they know that all we have to do is correct when they're not doing it, and then they do it. They'll do it consistently. Good girl, that's pretty. Good girl. Very nice. Good job. Nice little moments of it. Hey, good girl. Hey, nice. Good. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. My tone's changing now. Remember the first couple days? I'm very bold with my tone with all the commands, making it clear. Now that she has an understanding, I will make sure she understands it with all sorts of different tones. Soft, bold, but mainly it's going to be something just... The hardest one is sit down. They learn that they have to listen to that voice too. Good. So it doesn't matter who's talking to them, if they have a soft voice or a stern voice or whatever. But first we start with bold because it makes it clearer to them. Very distinct sound. Good. Good girl. Cute. Good girl. Now I let go of the leash. I have the long line because I want to start seeing where her knowledge is. There's some corrections there. moment where she says, what's that over there? That gets corrected, and what I'm looking for right now is to see, well, how much have you learned? This is where I test the dog to see how much more I need to give them, if they already know it and they're just being pushy, or what's going on. Feel good. It's not bad. Her understanding is not terrible at all. Good. That correction brought her closer to me. Go girl. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Yes. That's nice. Good girl. Come on, honey. That's nice.
Oh, she looks so good.
Okay. Good girl. That was nice. That was nice. I can already see, like, it's quiet. Listen, all you hear is birds. That's the ideal setting to teach this stuff. This does not mean that she's proofed. When we say proofed, we mean bulletproof, right? We want to go out into the community with dogs barking in her face and she still gives us this level of compliance. That's not going to happen just because she knows it. I hope that's not a shocker to you. What's going to happen is she's going to learn it here. She's going to learn what happens when she makes a mistake. She's going to learn how to get back into position and recover after a correction. She's going to learn all that, and then we take her out. Let her make the mistakes to find out for herself. At the end of the day, she realizes this is the behavior that is most beneficial for all of us, and that when she's released, like you've seen with Julie, if Julie was baby talking her, she's not allowed to go over to Julie until I say the release word. She learns on these walks that she has to ignore everything, the dog, the squirrel, the bunny, the car, the people, ignore all of it, and then when I say break, then she can interact with it. She can't interact with it until you give her permission. That's the big reason for success. All right, let's try some healing in the grass now, because now we want to put a challenge, and that's always like my first go-to as far as distractions go on heal. I just start walking on the grass, and that ends up with dogs not paying attention because the grass smells great and they get on scent trails and all that. Okay, so we get to start having that conversation now that she's got some knowledge of this command. For the worse. Now let's watch. Maybe she won't, but maybe she won't. We'll see. I'm already feeling her thinking about it. So I wait and I wait and I wait and I let her make a mistake and then I correct it. I'm patient. She's already thinking about making mistakes. If you're a trained eye, you see it already. Her thoughts are, ooh, there's things over there to go sniff. She hasn't committed to the mistake yet, so I'm not correcting. I'm not gonna sit here and micromanage her in the beginning because I want her to taste what a correction feels like when she makes an obvious mistake. When she chooses full on to just disengage with me, what happens? Then from there, I will tighten up and say, hey, don't even think about it. But right now, I want her to know what's on the line if you actually do just stop listening. Good girl. That's not bad. This is it. The mentality of the dog has a problem, so let's avoid it, is the common mentality. And then when they come here, the dog has a problem, so let's go face it. You like to go bark at dogs. Let's go find dogs. So I can tell you not to do that again. So it's a whole different approach here. When we're like, oh, she likes to pull. So it's like, well, let's try to get her to pull. And as you correct and as you go further in the program, it gets harder to get these dogs to mess up. And we go out of our way to try to get them to mess up. That is a secret in the industry amongst trainers like myself. It's not really a secret because we tell you. Everybody will tell you, but people listen, they hear what they want to hear, right? So I actually want to get her to mess up. I'm not trying to keep it successful. I'm trying to give her a learning experience. Heal. Now I'm not going to I can't force her to mess up, but I can put her in situations where it's not easy to listen. And that's where you hear Julie baby talk.
Hi, the baby girl. Hey.
Now, she wants to go over to Julie. You see it with the slight movement of her head. She has experience with this from earlier.
Hello.
She understands what's expected.
Can
but
I?
Look at the performance. It starts to get a little wonky, right? She's hanging back there. Give a little correction.
Can I pet her? Oh.
Correction. Okay? Over and over and over again we do this. Now if she makes that correction right now, within the next 5 seconds again, it's going to be much firmer.
Hello, right? Baby girl. Hi. Hi. Can I pet her? Hi.
Good
Hi.
girl. This is the only way to talk to a dog about a problem. Your dog has a problem with not listening to you and going and doing something. You have to set it up and say, don't do that anymore. And then when they don't do it anymore, you say, good girl for not doing that anymore. It seems obvious, but it's not happening. What's happening is people are trying to train commands, and they do train commands in a quiet room, and then they bring it out into the real world, and they have you like try to keep it engaged with the food that you have right here. Come on, look at me, look at me. Right? That doesn't work, never has, never will. I mean, it works if you want to sit here and waste your walk doing this, right? You look silly when you do it, too. Okay? Heel. Good. That's my good girl. I love it. So, that was really successful. So rewind the clock. Yesterday, not very successful at all. Nose to the ground, trying to sniff, not caring about what I'm trying to say. There's corrections for the disengagement. We go through that whole process. We put her away. I bring her out today. I got a dog who's looking to be compliant. And now that she's looking to be compliant and she's not paying attention to these other behaviors, I was able to teach her. She was successful. She was trying. Here's where I'm trying to get at. I'm going to stop right now with that exercise because she just did so good. Julie just got hit in the face.
I mean, it flew right at me.
She just did so well. I want her to remember, this is what happens when you're trying. Now, I could just say, hey, you did really well here. Now let's go straight into the woods and let you make a bunch of mistakes and start correcting you. I want her to have this session where she was very actively trying to put my teachings first and show her the rewards of that, of it just being a very relaxed session with minimal correction. And then the next time we go out, we'll start in a setting that she can handle, that she's proven that she can handle, then we'll go somewhere more difficult. And then if she starts to mess up, she's gonna start to see a pattern. She's gonna notice that the corrections correlate with her behavior, her attitude, all this stuff. And if she just does a session like this, carries the mindset that she did today here, then everything's good. Once she gets that, which she's really close, then she makes her own choice to follow you and to listen to you. And that is the good stuff, okay? So she's in that in-between period where she's like, all of those bad behaviors that I used to do have been taken off the table because there's consequences to them. I don't know what else to do. So we see a lot of this. She don't know what to do right now because all she's used to doing, we told her not to do. So she doesn't know what to do other than the command, right? Heel. That's not the end product fully. Eventually I'll be able to say break and she'll know that she can go and sniff and all that stuff too when she's on break, okay? And then we get a nice balanced lifestyle where everybody's happy. The human gets to enjoy the walk, the dog gets to enjoy the free time. But the dog's not trying to enjoy the free time while on the walk, pulling all over the place, because that causes stress. The dog gets less walks. That causes pent-up energy and frustration. So it needs to walk, but you don't want to walk it because it's even worse now because it has all this pent-up energy. It's just a cycle of like, it's a mess. Places like this give you a fresh start. Okay? Good. Good girl. All right? So she was very dominant in her behavior, in her environments before, just like all these dogs are. They're used to being plopped into an environment and doing whatever the heck they want. So this is different. Good girl.